Jesus says the following: "No one can serve two masters, for he will either hate the one and love the other, or he will be devoted to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and Mammon." That word Mammon is a Semitic word that encompasses money, but basically it just means material wealth. Jesus had none of that whatsoever. In fact, the only things he seems to have owned were the clothes he wore. So, does that mean we should sell everything we have and become homeless, much like Jesus was? Not necessarily. Even in the case of his clothes, he seems to have picked a specific tunic that the Roman soldiers who were crucifying him would gamble for, thus fulfilling the prophecy of Psalm 22. And so his clothes, the one thing he did have, was to serve God. The point is, no matter where or how we live, all of our possessions should be for God and for his service. Any wealth we have that isn't for God must be for our own benefit. And as Jesus said, we cannot serve God and our own material ambitions. In Acts chapter 4, verse 34 and 35, the early believers clearly show this. "There was not a needy person among them, for as many who were owners of lands or houses sold them, and brought the proceeds of what was sold and laid it at the apostles' feet, and it was distributed to each as any had need." Now, using our wealth for God means not letting our left hand know what our right hand is doing. That is, giving secretly, not showcasing how wonderful we are. That means it's not for me or anyone to judge what you have and what you may or may not be doing with it in service of God. But let's all remember that, as God says to Samuel when Samuel anoints King David, "The Lord sees not as man sees. Man looks on the outward appearance, but the Lord looks on the heart." So, let's give everything we have in God's service. All he expects us to do is to present our bodies as a living sacrifice with everything we have and everything we do. And if we choose to serve God rather than Mammon, our own material ambitions, he will, in his mercy, freely give us a place in that coming kingdom.